Here is the clip that Tausch wanted for you to hear so we could get your thoughts on what the general manager might be saying about Zack Tom and his future on the Packers offensive line.
Would you be willing to move Zack Tom if you felt that might be?
Yeah, I mean, again, if it was best for the Green Bay Packers, absolutely. I think he's established himself pretty well as a tackle in this league. Certainly, I think he could play both left and right tackle. I think when we drafted him, we also thought he could be a very, very good center if we needed him to be. Again, he's one of those guys that could probably play all 5 spots. But he's established himself pretty well in this league as a tackle.
So, a couple of things here. First of all, that voice you hear is Rob Ďmbovský, who may or may not be invested in the idea.
Now. He is an agenda-pushing son of a gun, isn't he?
As a center, because he was told by some high-placed Packers officials that he could be a Pro Football Hall of Fame center. But that notwithstanding, I thought it was interesting, Brian. That's not even the part that I thought was the most interesting. He's established himself pretty well as a tackle in this league, and he said it that way twice. He did not say he's established himself as a right tackle in this league. And we know that very good football players can play right tackle, right? Brian Bulaga, Earl Dotson, Zack Tom.
There's been some good ones.
Mark Tauscher. But he didn't say that. So as he also faces the final year of his contract, Brian Gutekunst calls Brian Bulaga. And he says, kind of like Aaron Rodgers is going to call me for advice. He says, Brian, you did such a great job firing up the troops during the 2023 season. That offensive line played so much better after you came to practice. I want to use you. I've got Campy working for me in the scouting department now. I want your advice. What should I do with Zack Tom in his final year of his rookie deal? What are you telling Goody Bulaga-Kunst?
Oh, well, I personally think you should leave Zack Tom where he is. I think you leave him exactly where he is, and I don't think you move him. I think he can play left tackle. That seems to be the consensus, what everyone believes. I think he had some snaps out there when Dave, I think a few years ago, right?
Right.
I think, and he went out there, but at the time he was playing left tackle, he wasn't there yet to be an NFL starter. So it was hard to get a gauge on how he was as a tackle in the NFL at that point. His strength wasn't there yet. His technique really wasn't. It wasn't refined yet. And then the next year he goes out to right tackle and he looks fantastic. And then as it continues to go on, he's playing how he is right now. So that doesn't mean he can't go back out there, flip his feet around, work a whole off season on it, work a training camp on it, and make the adjustment and do it really well. But I just look at things. If it's not broke, why fix it? And if you move Zack Tom now to left tackle, that means you're now retraining someone to go play right tackle. Now, is it going to be as easy to retrain someone that's been playing left tackle to play right tackle? I don't know. That's something that you now have to evaluate as a scouting department, as a offensive line coach like Butkus and Steno and LaFleur. Do you think now Sheed or Jordan Morgan can go play right tackle? And that's something you guys have to go through and really discuss and think, hey, can they make the adjustment in this amount of time? And I don't know that. They would know that way better than I would. But I think Zack Tom, and this was always the case, right? Like, you look at certain things, or at least this is the case for them right now. I think when you have a guy like Zack Tom, and I think Sean Ryan's playing, and can continue to play good football. You have a right side that you can count on, right? And they're good. You can leave them be, right? They can block one-on-one for a lot of the game. And that means you can slide and help now to the left side, and now you're going to have Jordan Morgan over there, potentially, not a rookie, but a second-year guy that hadn't seen a lot of action, and Sheed, and you can slide Elton over there to help those guys more than what you might have anticipated, right? Because you were expecting Jordan Morgan potentially to get more reps and all that, but he didn't. So now you can favor one side of the line, even though they always slide left anyways, and the right tackles never get help. But now you can really count on Tom and Sean Ryan to do their job out there on their own, and you can send help more out to the left and solidify one side. Now, if you flip it, now you're juggling things and doing stuff different. Now you got a left guard that's brand new playing next to Zack Tom, and now you got a brand new right tackle, and where are you sending your help? So, that's kind of where you're putting yourself in limbo, not just as an offensive coordinator, but as a GM, and you're trying to figure out how you balance it. So, I think you leave him, and if you're Zack Tom, you see what Tristan Wirfs got paid at left tackle is a ton of money, right? I think Tristan Wirfs got paid, I think he's I don't know how much, a ton, right? But probably not too far behind that is Penny from the Lions, right? Making a ton of money at right tackle for the Lions.
Wirfs is 5 years, $140 million. I'll get you Penny Sewell in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, but he's not going to get Penny's number, and he shouldn't push for that because he's gotten the All-Pros and the Pro Bowls and all those types of things, and Zack Tom hasn't got that, and that's the way these things get measured, unfortunately. But the money is there at right tackle. The market is there at right tackle. Lane Johnson has been getting that money. The money is there for right tackles to make to strike. They can make a ton of money playing out there. So if he's comfortable there and he's playing well there, not that he can't play left tackle, but why move if you don't have to? And that's kind of the way I see it. Now, and certainly not to center. Definitely not to center. Because if you move him to center, now you're just absolutely blowing up everything. You're literally saying, we're just going to take this offensive line, deconstruct it, and start over again. Because, what are you doing now, right? So now you're ripping away your best tackle. You're putting him inside. Now you got Elton. So where are you moving Elton? So you're leaving Elton at left guard. Okay, that's great. So now Jordan Morgan's going to go play right tackle, a position he's never played, and he didn't get to take any snaps at that. He only took snaps at guard during the season. Then he got hurt. So, you're just completely – you're just throwing everything out the window. You're starting again. And now you had all this momentum with Sean Ryan and Zack Tom throughout the season. That's gone now too. Don't care about that anymore. So, the center talk is just it's just not even worth it. You can't do it. You just can't do it. Please. That would be my one thing I would tell Goody. Just please don't do that.
Yeah, Rob Domofsky. All right, Blue, before we let you go, your old teammate Joey Bosa, it's being reported that the Chargers are going to release him. They got Khalil Mack they're not going to keep. Which of those guys, if you had a pick, would you want in Green Bay? Or neither?
Well, I think they both are good football players. I don't know.
They're old. They're getting old.
Joey's a unique pass rusher. Joey does a lot of different unique things. His injuries as of late have been unfortunate for him. I think he's had a lot of I think it's been hammies and things like that. I'm not exactly sure. Ankles. I don't really know. But I know he hasn't been playing as much as he's wanted to the last probably year and a half, or I don't know his full injury history or breakdown. I haven't paid attention as much, but I remember in the Packer game he got hurt. And Khalil Mack, if he is, I think he wants to play still. I'm not totally sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I think he's still productive, but I'm not. If I had to pick one,
you don't have to.
I don't have to, but
you don't have to say anything. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I would take. Listen, if I would take both of them if I really had to. Like I think they both could be very productive. I still think if in the right situation, which I think this scheme is for them. You know, I think in the scheme that they're in with this defense, it would be good for them. They could both still put up 8 to 10 sacks on a season, no problem. Are they going to play the run the way you want them to? Maybe Mac a little bit more than Bosa. If you're looking at it from a run game standpoint. But I still think those guys can be very productive, but it's what the number is, right? It's what the number is on both of those guys, which I doubt Bosa's taken like nothing to play. Like Bosa's going to demand a big number. And I don't know if Khalil Mack's taking a super discount either. So like, it's just, what are the number, what's going to be the number for those guys, and will Green Bay even go there? And that's the question.
I would say probably not.